What's up, people? It's James here, and today we are doing something a little different. So I've seen 20 movies this year, and at least movies that came out in 2026, and I decided, you know what, this is a good time for me to make a little bracket and see what my top movie of the year so far is. We got a little bracket. I have not looked at where everything is placed in the bracket. I want to see how it's going to work in the bracket and see what's going to go in. We're going to hop right into it. If you like this video, please leave me a like at the bottom of these episodes if you know exactly what to do. And we're about to hop right into this bracket. So we're going to start at the very tippity top. So first we got Iron Lung versus Wuthering Heights. This is such a weird, like combination of movies to go up against one another. They're so vastly different. But if I had to pick between the two, oh my God, if y'all are longtime subscribers, man, y'all are gonna be so disappointed in this choice, okay? I'm going Wuthering Heights all the way, bro. I thought Wuthering Heights was a fun movie for me. Like, not a perfect movie. Iron Lung, also a solid movie. My problem with Iron Lung is, despite me enjoying it, I think that movie would have been better if it was 40 minutes shorter. It was way too long. It had such cool elements going on, and I think the acting, especially from Markiplier, who's not an actor, was definitely actually very compelling. It's just the fact that the movie drags quite a bit because it's so long. Not to say it's bad. I still give it like a 7 out of 10, and I enjoyed it personally. It's just that those drawbacks kind of bring it down. Wuthering Heights, I really enjoyed from like beginning to end. There are times where I was kind of not really feeling the vibe of it a little bit. Like, I was getting kind of bored a little bit, but I thought the cinematography of that movie was like really freaking good. The acting is amazing, and I thought the characters were fun and interesting. I enjoyed Wuthering Heights more. So we're gonna go Wuthering Heights on that one. And if you disagree with that, I get it, I guess, but I don't know if you've seen Wuthering Heights. I don't know. Next, we got The Sheep Detectives versus Exit 8. Holy moly. Okay, if y'all have been following me for a long time, y'all know that I started out as a gaming channel, and I did play the Exit 8, one of the very first games that I ever played on here. And so when I went to go see the movie, I was very excited about it because I was wondering how they were going to convert this movie, or this game rather, where the entire premise is just walking through these looping hallways trying to find anomalies, how they're going to make that into a movie. It didn't really seem like it would work, but because it was made by people that are I knew that because it wasn't American made, it had a chance, you know, because that's where the game was made, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, can't wait to go see that. And The Sheep Detectives, I mean, I seen the trailer for that, and I was like, yo, that boy Hugh Jackman in this movie too, and it looks like it's fun kids movie, man. Both of these movies were super good, all right? I mean, and Exit 8 was surprisingly good because like I said, the premise was so flimsy. I was like, how are you gonna make that into a great movie? But it's one of my favorite movies of the year, 100%. Favorite horror movies too. But I gotta give the edge to Sheep Detectives, okay? And I say the edge, but it's not even really that close to me. The Sheep Detectives was, in my opinion, just like such a perfect movie, man. I had such a good time with that movie. I mean, making me care that deeply about some damn sheep. Like, and the comedy was so fun, and I just feel like the way that they had like Sheeps meets like Knives Out, it just was like it was so well done. I feel like it was like really well executed, and I felt very emotionally attached to the characters, and I was also very driven by the way, like, the amount of heart that was in it. And then Hugh Jackman, who's barely really in it, still solidifies his role as a good actor in that movie. And the Exit 8, like I said, very great movie, and it really nailed that movie feeling like the game, and included its own story that wasn't even prevalent in the game and really made it come to life. But The Sheep Detectives just warmed my heart so much. I literally teared up during that movie. I'm not afraid to say it, bro, okay? It was just, there's so many good things, man. I really like that movie. So Sheep Detectives is going to move on to the next bracket. Now, the next one is going to be Passenger versus They Will Kill You. For me, this is not even freaking close. Like, it's not even it's easily They Will Kill You. The Passenger is the only movie that I have seen this year that I straight up did not fucking like. I did not like that movie at all. The first like 15 minutes, I was like, okay, this movie's gonna be kind of decent, not nothing special, but I'm gonna have a fun time with it. And then after that, the movie just falls all the way off into cliche realm, and things just happen so conveniently that like literally everything just starts to work out. I'm trying to say this in a way that doesn't spoil these movies too greatly if you haven't seen them, though I don't recommend The Passenger anyway, so like I shouldn't care, but I do. I'll respect you guys for that. The premise was actually not bad, but they didn't execute it well at all. Like, that movie was so predictable and so unfun, and the fact that everything just kind of works out in a very easy linear path where things just don't, there's not really like actual hiccups. The main villain is barely a threat. Like, he's a threat like early, and then after that I just feel like he fucks around too much. Like, it doesn't make sense that every other character that this villain is involved with gets killed so fast, and then just for the convenience of the movie, this villain just doesn't do it anymore. It's really weird because they established that they die very quickly. If they didn't say that in the movie, it wouldn't bother me so much. But they stress that the people that get caught by this passenger are already going to die very quick all the time. And then this is the one time that it doesn't, just because the movie's happening. It doesn't make any sense. Like, if they just didn't mention that at all, it wouldn't make it as annoying. You know what I'm saying? Now, They Will Kill You, I just actually liked that movie. I just enjoyed that movie. That movie was like Kill Bill, and it was like fun. I just thought that movie was fun. It wasn't like incredibly great or anything, but I think it was just great. Like, it was just so fun. I thought like everything going on, the action involved and like the way that they played it like a comedy sometimes, it just felt really entertaining to watch. I had a really fun time with that movie, and I thought that the performances were actually solid for what the movie was. It's just not even a competition against The Passenger. Like, Passenger was just straight up not enjoyable. I did not like that movie at all. Fuck that movie. I was so upset when I watched that movie. It's my lowest rated movie of the year. Now we've got The Drama versus Life Hack. This is actually low-key kind of difficult to choose. I love both of these movies a lot. And I think I'm going to give it to The Drama. I think it's got to go to The Drama. Like, The Drama was just such a good movie for, like, oh God, they're both good. But like, The Drama was like, for a while, it was like, and it kind of still sits up there a little bit as one of my favorite movies of the year. Like, it was like top 3. It's not top 3 anymore, but it was when I watched it. Oh my God, like Robert Pattinson and freaking Zendaya, their performances in this movie are incredible, man. And that entire movie, like the way they kind of like covered such a touchy subject, it was like, oh my God, I thought they did a very good job at doing it in a way that made us care about the character despite what the character was involved with. I just punched the hell out of my mic. You probably just heard that, but anyway, I just really thought that the way that they executed that, especially with like, A24 always kind of cooks, but like the way they executed that movie was so well done. And I just really feel like the entire movie, I was at the edge of my seat, like stressed out, and I was getting frustrated with the characters that were in it. Like, and it was supposed to be frustrating. Not that they were like frustrating in a way that it was not supposed to be done, but it was like genuinely like, I was like, oh my God, dude, like why is everybody in this movie such a fucking asshole? Like, what is going on? I kind of get it because of what Zendaya's character is or was, you know what I'm saying? And it really covers this theme and this idea that is so hard to cover. And I think they did a very good job, and they covered it into a dramatic romance, The Drama. So like, I honestly give it the edge. Like, Life Hack, if you don't know what Life Hack is, it's a movie that's like completely taken place through like computers and screens, kind of like Unfriended was, and some other movies that maybe you've never heard of, like Searching. But like, it takes place entirely through like computer screens, and it's a heist movie, and it is very enjoyable. And I just thought that movie had some very well written characters, and I love the way they ended. It was so good, and it's like, it's below The Drama. I'm keeping The Drama right where it is, man. That movie was so good, and I really want to watch it again. Maybe not, because it really stressed me out, and I don't think I can sit through it again just because of that. All right, next we got Send Help versus In the Gray. Shoot, honestly, this one's actually a little tougher than I would think. Like, I think that I give the edge to Send Help because I had problems with both of these movies, but I think less with Send Help. I enjoyed them both a lot, but I think Send Help definitely had less with me. I really like Send Help. I think that In the Gray, I just kind of enjoyed. I don't know if I like it as much as Send Help. I just like them both. And Send Help is just like, I think first of all, the performances are really good, but it just was like, it really like, I feel like the chaotic nature of this movie, it was so well done. Like, I really just feel like everything was so spontaneous and unexpected. I just feel like the reason that it's like not a perfect movie for me is like, I mean, there's some things that I don't care for that happen in the movie, a couple of small things, but like the ending overall, I just wasn't like, while I kind of liked it, I wasn't like super hooked by it. So it's not like amazing S tier for me, but like, I did really like this movie, and I thought that the way that these characters, the way they make you feel for both characters and kind of bounce off of each of them because they're both insane in their own ways or whatever, I just feel like it was so well done. You can't really root for either one of the main characters because both of them are freaking chaotic and insane. Like, they're just problematic as fuck, and I just think that was great. In the Gray is like a nice little action movie, and it's like not super complicated, and it's got like fun little action things going on in it. The reason that this movie is kind of lower, maybe like a B tier for me, is that it's kind of like really slow in the beginning. Like, it's kind of almost boring because it's a lot of exposition. It's just a lot of yapping and not a lot going on. Like, there's just talking and talking with narration about things that are going to happen. And it's like, oh my God, when are we going to get the fucking movie going? I felt that while I was watching the movie. I was like, man, I'm having a decent time, but man, this is kind of not. And then after that all gets by, it takes like 30, 40 minutes though. But after all that goes by, the rest of the movie is just fun to watch. It's just an enjoyable action movie with things going on. But the characters are not super like deep or anything like that. The characters are very hard to really sympathize with, but like with that movie, I feel like it doesn't really matter that much for you to have a fun time. It does take away a little bit though, but it's not that bad. But it is going to lose to Send Hell. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why? Oh wow. Okay, so next we have Obsession versus The Furious. Holy shit. That's no. That is easily the hardest thing to do. And I have some recency bias too, because while I watched Obsession 2 times, I just watched The Furious 2 days ago, actually yesterday, and I it's fresh in my mind. I mean, and I really liked that movie, man. Like, it was just so, the action was so freaking awesome, man. Oh my God. And Obsession is, I mean, everybody knows about Obsession by now. Come on, I don't have to even explain that movie. But The Furious was, oh my God, what goes next? Oh man. God, I feel like so many people are not gonna like what I do here, but I gotta, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go The Furious. Oh. What did you say, nigga? Oh my God, I can hear them in the comments, bro. Okay, listen, man. I love Obsession and I respect Curry because, like me, we're the same age, first of all, but second of all, like me, he's a comedy person that pivoted into horror and wanted to direct, and I'm similar in that matter, and he did such a great job with this movie. And I did a video about this recently, like about Bear, and if you haven't seen that, you can go check that out. But Obsession is just such a great start for feature film horror for him. Like, it's just incredible. I mean, I didn't have it as a perfect movie at all, but I had it pretty freaking close. Really close. And that movie is great. The characters are awesome, and I mean, they're so complex, especially Bear, who's a freaking horrible human being. God, but the amount of fun that I had with The Furious, while I will say that the plot isn't super like the storyline isn't super deep or anything like that, I feel like it works so well for what they have going, like what the plan is. Like, it's an action movie that's where it's supposed to be a run and beat 'em up, you know what I'm saying? And they have a plot that actually just covers what it's supposed to. It's not like spectacular, but it's compelling enough to drive what the main thing is, which is these awesome choreographed fight scenes. And I just like literally wanted to, like, with Obsession, I watched that movie and I was like, yeah, I definitely could think about watching it again. But The Furious, bro, I've been thinking about the movie since I watched it. I'm like, I really want to watch this movie a second time. Like, I like those fight scenes were so awesome. Like, that movie had my adrenaline rushing, man. Like, and you gotta understand, I am not trying to do objective, this movie's better, this is off of personal preference, obviously, and I personally have The Furious as one of the best movies I've seen this year. I literally could not move, like, that movie stays right there, like, and it sucks that Obsession gets dropped out of the lineup so early, considering it is one of my favorite movies of the year, but it's up against The Furious, and I really liked that movie, man. If you haven't seen The Furious, man, please, I recommend it, man. That movie's incredible, and Obsession, also incredible. Don't get me wrong, man. It's just, if I had to pick between the two, I'm giving it to The Furious, man. I really am. Next, we've got Normal versus Hokum. And honestly, for me, this is a no-brainer. Like, it's just Hokum. And not to say I didn't have fun with Normal. I did have fun with Normal. But Normal has a lot of things that I have problems with. Like, a whole host of things that make it, like, not top tier. Like, Hokum is a really great horror movie to me. That movie was really good. Not better than Obsession or anything. But, like, it was so I love that movie, man. And I just think that it had to move up, man. Like, and I just thought, like, the cinematography of it and like the way it's executed and how creepy it actually felt was so unsettling, man. And I really like that the cast was so tiny for that movie too. And it really impacted me in terms of horror. Like, I really did like that movie. Normal was just kind of fun. Like, I went in there and I had issues with it because there was like things that just didn't add up for me. Not add up, but like it just felt I don't know. I just really wasn't feeling it, you know? But as a movie just to sit there and like actually just have a good time with, I definitely had a good time with that movie. It was solid. I didn't have, it was in the same vein as like Iron Lung, you know? Like I have it as like a 7-ish. Like, you know, I enjoyed it, but I had beef with a few things, so it can't really be super high in my rating or anything like that. But I did enjoy that movie. And do I recommend it? I mean, yeah, I mean, not as highly as some other movies, but I think if you just want a movie to have a good time with and turn it on real quick, like I would say that's a decent movie to watch. It's not bad at all. Hokum for sure takes it though. That one's just kind of an easy one. Now the next one is Disclosure Day versus Undertone. This one is interesting because I enjoyed Undertone. I had beef with that movie the same way I had with like Normal, you know, it was like some things I had problems with, but it was the same with Disclosure Day. Though I really liked Disclosure Day, I didn't have as much beef with Disclosure Day. So Disclosure Day kind of takes it for me. But I will say, Undertone is by far the most unsettling movie that I've seen, like in terms of like what made me feel actual genuine fear. Like I was watching it and I was like sitting there like, this is the first time I wanted to like look away from a screen for a horror movie in a long time. It literally, just the way they had, like they were playing with the depth behind characters in that movie and the way that they played with sound, it was so creepy. I did not like how creepy it was, but it just kind of had like a very ending, and it just kind of also had some things I wish they did more, and I wish they delved more into the characters. It gets a little repetitive at some points, and I just feel like some things that were character based and plot based kind of get glossed over a little bit. So it wasn't like I really have that movie in high regard. Disclosure Day was like just a nice alien movie. It was an interesting way to tackle the alien movie. I mean, Steven Spielberg does alien movies all the time. This isn't new for him, but the way he did this one was very interesting, and the way they covered it in terms of government conspiracy and whatnot. I thought that this movie was well executed and very well acted. There's just certain things that I didn't care for as much. Like, for example, until the two plot lines that are happening with the characters align, it feels like one movie is it feels like two separate movies, and one movie is way more entertaining than the other. Every time they cut back, I don't remember the names, I apologize, but every time they cut back to the male character's plot line with his girlfriend, I was like, all right, I mean, I'm not that interested in this. I mean, I am, but like, because it matters, but like, I'm not like, I'm really more interested in this woman over here that's suddenly developing alien extraterrestrial powers. Like, this guy that's just running away for reasons that he won't fucking say yet is interesting, but not interesting enough for me to like, I don't know, I was tug-of-warring a little bit with that. And the ending is, while I kind of appreciate the ending, I also feel like it's kind of abrupt, and they covered a whole lot just to bring it up to this very big moment, and the big moment is left to our imagination. I won't say what I mean by that because I don't want to spoil it, but I just feel like there are some things that I had a little bit of an issue with, but I did enjoy this movie a whole lot. So it does move up forward. So now we are at Wuthering Heights versus The Sheep Detectives. This is a no-brainer. It is The Sheep Detectives. The Sheep Detectives is one of my favorite movies of the entire year. The Sheep Detectives is definitely taking it over Wuthering Heights because I have some beef with Wuthering Heights, okay? I definitely do. While I really like that movie a lot, and I had fun with it, and I thought it was very enjoyable the way they executed it, and I thought the cinematography was some of the most beautiful that I have seen in any movie in 2026. I definitely say that The Sheep Detectives should win that because it is just everything that you could ever ask for in a good movie. Like, I had literally not a single problem with that movie. Like, there's certain things that, very small things, that I'd be like, if I really thought about it, I'd be like, but there are like certain things that I was like, okay, it's a kid's movie, I don't mind that much. And I really, really like The Sheep Detectives. This is easily one of my favorites, man. So we're gonna go with that. I also noticed something weird here is, for some reason, I definitely put it in here, but Project Hail Mary is not on this list. Okay, I will say there are some movies missing from this list that I actually watched, and I'm not sure why, and I'll just talk about them briefly at the end. They didn't end up fitting into the bracket, maybe because there's too many movies, but I will say that there are movies missing from this list that actually belong on here and that would probably have some serious competition. So there's The Backrooms is not here for some reason. I don't know why it's not here. I really like The Backrooms. It's a really good horror movie, and I thought that it really executed the way that The Backrooms is supposed to feel. I thought that for a first especially because they announced that there will be another Backrooms of some kind. I think I could be wrong, actually. Don't quote me on that. Point is, I thought as a movie, The Backrooms was fine. I had a couple of issues with it, but I thought as a Backrooms movie, it really did what it was supposed to do. It would have gave some of these movies a run for their money, but I can confirm it wouldn't have made it to the end. So you don't have to worry about that. It would not have made it to the end. A movie that might have gotten to the end that's not on this list for some reason is Project Hail Mary. It didn't end up fitting, I guess, on this bracket. I'm sorry I didn't think about it. Next time I do a bracket, I'll try to pay attention more to whether or not all the movies are in here. Project Hail Mary is one of my favorite movies of the year. That movie was incredibly good. It would have definitely beaten out a lot of these movies. Will it have won at the very end? I don't think so, but it would have been really making it. I'm glad that the movies that I think would have made it to the end are here, because Project Hail Mary would have made it, gave a lot of movies a run for their money, but it would not have made it to the very end in the championship round. But that movie was incredibly good. Another movie that's not in here that I'm glad, because it would have been a waste of space, is the Super Mario Galaxy movie, because that movie was kind of ass, all right? That movie was like, and I say that, but I'm kind of exaggerating. That movie was like egregiously mid, unless you're like a diehard Mario fan that likes Easter eggs, because that movie was just full of Easter eggs, but no plot. The plot was this fucking thin, and it was so boring to watch because there was nothing happening. It's just Easter eggs after Easter eggs after Easter eggs. That movie just wasn't enjoyable for me. Like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. That is a solid, perfectly mid movie. And I'm glad it's not on this list, because it would have got wiped out immediately. Because I straight up, besides Passenger, is the only movie I didn't care for. It's the only thing that it gives the edge is I did not like it. And the last movie that's not here is the Bone Temple, 28 Years Later, Bone Temple. And that movie would have gave a lot of these movies a run for their money, because I loved Bone Temple. I mean, it's one of my favorite movies of the year for sure. The problem is, just like I said, it wouldn't have made it to the very end in the championship. The movies that I think will make it are still on here, and I'm glad that they are. As much as I loved that movie and thought it was amazing, it wouldn't have made it here. But that is another movie that I have seen that is not on this list, and I just wanted to say that I really like that movie, and it would have definitely beaten a lot of these movies here. So now we got They Will Kill You versus The Drama. For me, this is not close. The Drama is definitely a movie that impacted me way more. I mean, They Will Kill You is a very fun ride for sure, but The Drama just hit like a bus, man. That movie was just something else, man. I loved that movie, and I already talked about why, so I'm not gonna go into detail. So now we move on to Send Help versus The Furious. This one, not close. The Furious is definitely taking that. It's just taking that because I love, like, The Furious was just such a goddamn fun movie. And Send Help was fun, but it was not as fun as The Furious. No. Anyway, now we got Hokum versus Disclosure Day. For me, this isn't, I mean, this is kind of close, but it's definitely going to get the edge to Hokum, because I really liked Hokum and had very few problems with it, besides the fact that it was a little slow at times. But Disclosure Day just straight up had things that I didn't really prefer. Hokum was just a little slow a little bit in some places, and honestly, that's fine. It's gonna beat out Disclosure Day for that, and it was just a very good horror movie that I recommend. Now we get to the semi-finals here, and this is gonna be where it's really fun. So now we got Sheep Detectives versus The Drama. These are two very popular movies that you might have seen, both of them. Maybe you haven't seen The Sheep Detectives, because I feel like that's a kid's movie and people are sleeping on it. I got now don't, you're not gonna like this, guys. You're not gonna like this, but I am gonna give the movie edge to The Sheep Detectives. Huh? Listen, man, The Sheep Detectives was just so incredibly good, man. It made me feel so good. Like, I walked out of that movie just feeling, I just felt great. I was just happy. I was at home, I was at peace. Like, I just loved that movie. It really hit, man. And The Drama, like, I had some issues with The Drama, like very small ones, but like, it's close. It's not far. The Sheep Detectives definitely wins it. And then between The Furious and Hokum, it's less close. It's just The Furious, bro. It's just The Furious. So now, oh my god, and these are the movies I expected to be at the end, because these are, as far as my tier list goes right now, these are my only two S tier movies. The only one that's almost S is Project Hail Mary. It's just not fully S. These are my only two S movies, and this is by, like I said, personal preference. It doesn't mean it's a perfect movie in general. It's a perfect movie for me. So now I'm nervous, because I'm like, what am I picking as my overall champion? Oh my god, I really have to think about this, because I enjoy, these are such vastly different movies, and I enjoy them for totally different reasons, man. Yeah, I'm trying to defeat the recency bias I have because I just watched The Furious. It just came out like the other day. The Sheep Detectives I seen months ago now. It's either a month. No, it's definitely been multiple months, and it's hard to compete like because I know I love that movie to death, but like recency bias, a bitch. All right, here's how I'm gonna think about this, man. I'm gonna think about how I felt when I watched both of these movies and when I was finished with them, and like how much I really wanted to rewatch each one. So The Sheep Detectives, when I watched that movie and I absolutely adored it, man. I really loved that movie, man, and I thought it was such a great time, and I definitely thought I could rewatch this. But when I think about The Furious, I walked out of that movie thinking about how badly I needed to rewatch every fight again. I just really wanted to go through that experience again. I think that as much as it sounds crazy to me, I think The Furious actually is the champion of all of the movies. God, Lord, I can't believe it. Cause I just watched it, man, but I'm really thinking about it. It's gonna be like, if I'm ranking my top 3 movies right now, it's gotta be like The Furious, The Sheep Detectives, and then Project Hail Mary, man. And then like Obsession is probably at number 4 if I had to pick. I'm not really sure I think Obsession at 4 is kind of fair for me. And that sounds crazy because that movie's great. It's not as fun for me as the other ones, but that sounds crazy too because I love them all like deeply with very small issues. Like that's an A+ movie, to be honest. That's gonna do it, man. I guess it's The Furious is gonna be the one that wins. The Furious is the thing that ends the bracket, man. I really like that movie, man. If y'all like videos like this, let me know. I could do more of them. I could even do one for 2025 because I mean I had so many more to watch last year that I just didn't do. But like here we are with The Furious here. If y'all like videos like this, let me know. And if y'all like this video, please leave me a like at the bottom if you have something you know that you do. And with all that being said, fellas, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, homies.
Hopping on the beat, I'm feeling acrobatic. I don't gotta think this shit be automatic. On a different level in another bracket. Dropping bangers, I be hitting like a mallet. Doing backflips.